Have you ever felt like you don't know enough? Like no matter how much you learn, it's never quite enough to take action. What if I told you that gate 48, the archetype of wisdom, holds the key to shifting that fear into deep trust? Today, we're going to dive into how you can tap into this energy to clear out any doubts, to transmute fear, worry, anxiety with awareness, and embrace the wisdom that's already within you. So let's get into it. There are 7 gates in our Spleen Center, 7 main archetypes in one of our awareness centers called the Self-Actualization Center in Quantum Human Design. We're going to be going through each one of these gates, one video at a time. And what I hope for you is that having the awareness of these energies, specifically the shadow expression of these energies, will help you as it has helped me when I first learned about them in regard to being able to quickly identify the onset of fear and anxiety. Now, there are many things that can contribute to the onset of fear and anxiety, but having this knowledge and this awareness can at least help you to quickly see if it's coming from one of these 7 places. And I don't know about you, but for me, I deeply appreciate having a language to identify and assess what it is that I may be feeling and why. I'm not saying these gateways are the only places fear and anxiety come from, but knowing this can help you determine if they are at the root of what you're feeling and experiencing. If you assess and conclude that it's not coming from any of these places, then you've ruled that out, and in turn, that has helped you get a little bit closer to what may be the actual cause. Knowing the flip side of the shadow of these archetypes, which is the exalted, the higher, or the optimal expression, helps me to shift the mindset and flip the narrative, enabling me to make a conscious choice to take back or take over the story that's playing out in my mind. Human design shows us that everything in your chart, every layer, every element, every part represents an archetypal energy that can be expressed and experienced in an infinite number of ways as the human character that we are here playing. Every archetypal energy has a conditioned or shadow expression, a challenge or lesson that it's meant to teach us, and then an exalted or a quantum expression. And these lessons, these challenges are each embodied into the archetypal themes to help us grow. So learning and growth go hand in hand, and that is ultimately what we're doing here on this planet in Earth School. When we become familiar with the spectrum of these energies, we are empowered with this awareness and inner standing to take back control over the story and life experiences. Let's talk about what we call gates in human design. What is a gate? You can think of a gate in your chart as a doorway or gateway. You can picture an actual gate or a door with a sign on the front of it that has the name of an archetype on it. When you have these gates activated, defined, or colored in your chart, that means that you emanate and express outwardly that archetypal theme, meaning others will get to experience that energetic theme from you and through you and your expression of it. All the other gates in your chart that are not activated or not colored in, meaning it's white on your chart, is a doorway or a gateway that takes in and then amplifies that archetypal theme. It allows you to experience that energy in a variable way. You will get to experience temporary activation in these gates that are not activated in your natal chart from other people you're around and the planetary transits. There are a total of 64 gates or 64 archetypes in our embodied human experience. What is an archetype? An archetype is an idea, a symbol, a pattern, or a character type in a story. And we are each living in our own personal story comprised of the archetypes in our quantum human design charts. Remember that everything that is in your chart represents an archetypal energy that you can express in an infinite number of ways as this human character that you are here playing. The expression of each element is operating on a spectrum or a sliding scale. It has a high end, a low end, and all the space in between the high end and the low end. Another way to say this is it has a conditioned expression, a baseline expression, and a quantum expression. And remember, nothing about our human experience is linear, although it appears to be. Due to our conditioning, we can get stuck in these unconscious patterns of repeating our conditioning or the unbalanced or shadow of an archetypal energy. So working to bring our conscious awareness to the energies at play in our blueprints, our charts, allows us to know and understand what it is we're feeling and experiencing and why, which gives us a sense of control back and empowers us to be intentional and deliberate with our choices, actions, and words. We can choose to clear and cleanse the spaces in our body where we have unprocessed, stagnant energy that has settled. The awareness is the first step needed in order to be able to break those cycles, the patterns, the feedback loop that is on repeat and definitely not serving us to experience. Please remember, a human design chart is an energy blueprint. It's a map or schematic of the wiring of the human character that you are here playing. It is not who you are. It shows you how you use energy, how you express it, and how you take it in. It shows you all of the archetypes of the human experience. It gives language and insight into the character and role that you are here playing in this lifetime. It shows you what you're here to learn, the themes that you're here to experience in your soul's curriculum, and in your character's life story. It doesn't answer everything and it doesn't tell the whole story. Nothing does, but it is a great tool, and having the right tool can make all the difference in an experience. So in my opinion, it's invaluable to know and integrate this tool to support us in this human experience. Another important thing to remember is the things that I share and post in regard to human design are pieces, fragments, little bits and parts taken out of the big picture or out of context in order to break it down, in order to peel back one layer at a time and to simplify it. But please keep in mind that these pieces are just that, pieces. They make complete and full sense when you put them all back together into the full synthesis of your individual and unique chart. It's vital to understand the parts and the pieces. You will resonate with the parts and the pieces, but the full picture of your character's story becomes clear when the entirety of your chart is synthesized, when all of the parts and pieces and layers are looked at as a whole. Your chart is your energy blueprint, and you have your own unique configuration of the mechanics of how you operate and form. When it's looked at as a whole, you will easily see the repeating themes in your curriculum, including the conundrums, which we all have built into the blueprint, those inner conflicting energies that are the catalyst for your growth and evolution on a soul level. Our Spleen Center, or Self-Actualization Center in Quantum Human Design, is the center for survival, instinct, timing, and the immune system. The resiliency keys of self-trust and courage reside here. When our energy centers are cleared and calibrated, we come into energetic alignment, creating harmony in our energy in our body, and this is ultimately what allows us to experience optimal well-being. When this center is defined or colored in, you have a consistent awareness around intuition, instinctual decisions or responses, and timing. And when this center is undefined or open or white in your chart, you have a variable experience of not only your own intuition, instinctual pulses, and timing, but you amplify other people's as well. When we have an undefined or open spleen center, we tend to hold on to things longer than is good for us. So if you have this center white on your chart, I invite you to contemplate what you may be holding on to that is no longer serving your best interest or your highest good, and then make the choice to let it go, release it. And this can be a thing, a thought, or even a relationship. Today we're talking about the Gate 48, which is the archetype of wisdom in quantum human design, and it's in the astrological sign of Libra. The intention of this communication today is to bring your awareness to this archetypal energy, to clear out any limiting beliefs, any old, stuck and stagnant energy, and bring it back into balance and harmony. So you can check your chart if you have it handy to see if you have the Gate 48 defined, colored in, or open, not colored in. Either way, everything we're talking about today applies to you, and we'll get more into what this theme entails in a moment. If you need to run your quantum human design chart, you can do so for free using the link in the description of this video. You'll need to know your exact birth time, birth date, and birthplace in order to run an accurate chart. If you don't know your exact birth time, you can check out the video also linked below for some tips on how to get it. I want to point out where Gate 48 is on your chart. It's located in the Spleen Center right here. You can see it here on my chart, but I don't have this gate defined or activated. If yours is not defined either, like mine, that means that you will experience this theme, this energy, in an inconsistent or in a variable way. In other words, you take in the energy from other people who do have it defined and from a temporary planetary transit that's activating this gate. So you'll not only receive that energy in, but you'll actually amplify it. However, due to how conditioning works, even if you have this gate open, you still may feel like you experience this theme all the time. So if you have the Gate 48 activated, then you actually experience this archetypal theme in a more fixed and consistent way. So looking first at the shadow or unbalanced or conditioned expression of the Gate 48, this feels like or gets expressed as the fear of inadequacy, feeling like you don't know enough and you will never know enough, that you're not capable, competent, or proficient to do something, when in actuality, the opposite couldn't be more true. However, this fear of inadequacy can be so paralyzing that it never lets you move beyond your comfort zone in life. Does that resonate? If you have the Gate 48 defined, you may be nodding your head yes, because you've experienced this theme your whole life. And if it's undefined, you may be thinking you totally feel this sometimes, but not all the time. Of course, there are other factors in the chart that have similarities. And as you get deeper into understanding human design as a whole, you'll see that there are so many overlapping themes and similarities throughout, as well as repeating themes and patterns in your specific chart. For example, off the top of my head, the need for this foundation of information in order to feel safe for the Gate 48 could also be applied to a line 1 or a line 4 profile, meaning you may not have this gate defined in your chart, but because you're a line 1 or a line 4, you're completely resonating with this. For me personally, this theme can creep in because of my undefined head and ajna, which means sometimes the information is there and sometimes it's just not. And because these two centers are undefined, there's this pressure to know. And when the information isn't there because I'm just not remembering it in the moment, all sorts of feels can flood in. So part of my curriculum here is learning how to work with this aspect of my experience. And having this awareness is tremendously helpful. Okay, so let's talk about the balanced or optimal or the quantum expression of this Gate 48. This looks like you giving yourself the permission to learn and explore to a depth that gives you a really strong foundation in order to step forward in the right timing with the right people and then share what you know. It's you realizing that you already have all you need to know within you and to trust your connection to divine intelligence, that spirit is the true source of your wisdom and knowledge. The lesson or challenge of this archetype of wisdom is to not let not knowing hold you back in life, to not let this fear stop you from creating what your heart and soul are calling for. The lesson is learning to trust yourself and to trust that you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. In our School of Quantum Human Design, we'll oftentimes put students in breakout rooms on Zoom to do these practice exercises together. And so many of the students, especially those with the gate 48 activated, are terrified to do this because they feel like they don't know enough, or they feel that the other students will know more than them. And then after they get back from the breakout sessions and we ask them to share their experience, we'll get feedback that one of the things that we mostly will get feedback about is how shocked they were to realize how much they actually do know. That once they started speaking and sharing, how it all just flowed out of them. Next, I'm going to give you 5 mantras or affirmations that you can start using for the gate 48. If any or all of these resonate with you, feel free to repeat them daily. You can say them out loud, you can say them quietly to yourself, you can even write them down on a sticky note and place it someplace that you'll see it every day, like your bathroom mirror. I trust I will know what I need to know when I need to know it. I am capable. I am a well of wisdom, and I trust my sense of timing on when to share what I know. It is safe to push past any feelings of inadequacy that arise because that fear is an illusion. I follow my intuition and the whispers of my soul to lead me out of my comfort zone and down the life path that is in alignment with my truth. True wisdom isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting that you'll have the knowledge or the words that you need when the time is right. So don't let the fear of not knowing hold you back. Trust your depth, trust your timing, and allow your wisdom to flow. I love connecting with you in the comments. When you comment, it makes it easier to communicate and build a community. And as a 4th line who feels everything is better together, that's so important to me. So let me know what resonated with you from this video, or you can let me know if you have the gate 48 activated or not, how you experience this energy. And if you don't know what to say, you can simply leave the eye emoji. Remember, you are loved. I'll see you in the next video.